Day was dragging on. Rumor had it among the boys that we were going to the feast. I could barely believe it. Ralph had actually decided to go. It was true. That night we went. Jack's tribe was hospitable. We were all offered all we could stuff ourselves full of meat. Then Jack spotted Ralph. In a dark tone he offered to him as well. It was strange, yet expected. Jack's whole tribe was painted, dark red like the earth and musky greens. Yes, they all wore the mask of savagery. It was easy to see that Jack was the leader, as all the other boys acted on behalf of him, served him. They were puppies, and he was the master. They knew very well not to bite the hand that fed them, or this would lead to punishment. Jack was a monster, that much I was certain. The meal was soon over, and Jack extended a welcome invitation for us to join his tribe. I chose to stay, unlike most of the others. Ralph was losing his cool. He challenged Jack about shelters, as it was going to rain and Jack had none. In response, Jack and his tribe began their dance. Chanting and dancing, we broke into a ring, circling and chanting. Outside, we were surrounded by other rings which were smaller. Even the little ones were joining in our frenzy, and even Ralph and Piggy. Once again the hunting of the pig was reenacted, and we became beyond ourselves. The thunder clashed above, and suddenly a monster appeared, a shadowy figure from out of the forest. He stumbled into our ring, mumbling something about a dead man in a parachute. He stumbled over a small ledge onto the beach, and it is there where we descended upon him, ripping and tearing like animals. Yes, the beast, he would fall before our power. Soon the beast ceased to move, and his blood spilled out upon the sand into the rising tide. I took a deep breath, and upon calming, looked at the scene with my reason. The monster was quite small. In fact, oh no, it was Simon. It was then that the figure above drifted into sight, and we all screamed and fled. The next morning I heard Ralph and Piggy discussing in a hushed tone. They were talking about Simon. Ralph seemed upset, but Piggy was saying it was just an accident, that it was all just a tragic accident, but Ralph wasn't convinced. Murder, he said. I then heard Ralph's hysterical laughter. Looking around, I realized how desolate we were. The only ones left were Ralph, Piggy, and Sam and Eric, a couple of little ones as well. Upon the suggestion of a signal fire, we became energized again, but that quickly died down. Soon day turned to night, and we drifted off to sleep, lonely and fearful. The screeching of voices and howling awoke us that night. We were being attacked. I fought desperately. Everyone was fighting. There was kicking and biting and screaming, the flashing of teeth and nails, but then it was over, and the hunters had fled, leaving behind our bruised and beaten bodies. Ralph was raging. They stole Piggy's glasses, the fire, our only chance of rescue. If they had asked for fire, we would have given it. But no, they had to go and steal it like thieves. That morning we attempted to light the fire to no avail. We decided to hold a meeting. Gathering, we decided to travel to Castle Rock, where Jack and his tribe dwelled. It was there that we would reclaim Piggy's glasses and make them see reason. We began the trek, Piggy carefully holding on to the conch. Soon we arrived. 2 of Jack's tribe were guarding the platform inwards. Ralph blew the conch, assembling a meeting, but the guards only smirked and threw rocks, aiming to miss. Suddenly, Jack and a group of hunters emerged from the forest, striking a dead pig. It was a face-off. Jack was commanding Ralph to leave his camp, Ralph insisting on the return of Piggy's glasses. Soon they were fighting, hand in hand. True combat, stabbing with spears. I gazed in horror as Jack's hunters tied Sam and Eric up upon his command. Ralph, enraged, lunged at Jack, and again they were upon each other, striking and blocking. Soon the earth shook with a shattering crunch. Roger had pushed a huge, crushing boulder. Ralph leapt away, but Piggy just stood there. The conch shattered in 1,000 tiny fragments, and his body was thrown over the rocky edge to a sea cliff where he lay in a pool of red. Jack and his hunters were throwing spears at Ralph. He escaped into the forest, and I cowered away to follow him as I watched Sam and Eric tortured by the hunters to join Jack's tribe. We were alone. Ralph was miserable. He was hurt from the conflict. He stumbled upon a glowing skull on a stick. It was the Lord of the Flies. Ralph gazed at its horrible grin and knocked it to the ground in what I interpreted as pure disgust. Grabbing the sharpened stake as a weapon, he walked onward. That night he snuck to Castle Rock. They were feasting and chanting and dancing. There were 2 guards, but no, it couldn't be. It was. Sam and Eric. Ralph seemed relieved. Climbing the rock, he drew the two's attention. He offered them the chance to join him. But, to my surprise, they refused. Handing him food, they told him how Jack was planning the entire tribe to hunt him down the next day. Hushed, he told them he would hide in the thicket and to lead the tribe away. That night, finally concealed in the thicket, he fell asleep. That morning I heard voices, the screams and groans of Sam and Eric. "In there," the twins pointed. Soon the ground shook again and a boulder came sailing into the thicket, missing. A group of Jack's hunters began to work their way into the thicket, to be fended off by Ralph. It was then when the smell of smoke hit my nose. It was growing heavier and heavier when I realized a fire! They would smoke him out. Abandoning his hiding place, Ralph fought his way past a group of Jack's hunters, panicked. They were chasing us. At least we broke through the underbrush onto the beach, where Ralph finally collapsed in sheer exhaustion. Then there it was, a naval officer standing tall above us. This was no mirage. His ship had come to the island upon seeing the fire. I watched as everyone began to sob. How could a group of us who were so young become so savage? Upon seeing our tears, the naval officer looked away.